I'm inside, but what I see is when the banks lower the interest rate and get really busy, so that maybe it takes them 45 or 60 days to do a loan, they don't want to go out and hire new people. They want to slow the process down, and the easiest way to do that is to raise the interest rates.
Well, that was going to be my next comment, that, could it have been attributable just because they're trying to manage the volume? Because I'm hearing that a lot of folks like you, Robert, are just super busy right now writing loans.
Super busy, and it's funny how that happens. The interest rates go up, and that's what I think the reason is, although no economist is going to make their money and be able to put out a blog or write articles.
You can't blame the banks, you got to blame politics,
Yes,
Obama,
yeah,
the economy, something.
Yes, but it's odd how when they get really overloaded, the interest rates go up, and then there's other alternative reasons supposedly afterwards.
Well, a lot of people would say, "Oh gosh, honey, we got to lock this rate in. We got to get our refinance in now because it looks like rates are going up."
Yes, or
Whereas
the
they were
rates
sitting
went,
on those
or
sidelines.
the rates went up. I mean, a lot of deals. I mean, I'm always in different processes and different deals, purchases or refinances, and people always want to get the best deal they can, as they should, even when they're buying.
Well, you see that even when people buying a house, right? It's like people sitting on the sidelines. The market's going to drop. The market going to drop. Let's not get in yet. But as soon as it starts turning, like really turning, that's when the frenzy comes, right?
Most of the people that wait and wait are the ones that will know that it's time to buy when they've missed the boat.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say that you had some stories of a couple of people that?
I have one guy who, is looking to buy a house, and he's been looking to buy a house for the last year and a half, and no, this one's not right, and this one's not right, and he and his different realtors and I keep telling him, you're going to end up being a renter. So you really should take advantage of the market as it is now. And the market is really strong. We've seen so many deals in Marin, in Sonoma, especially in the city or the East Bay, where the house is listed and there's multiple offers, 5, 10, 15 offers, and every single one of them is above the list price, and sometimes
It's
they're all
like
cash.
2005 again, all over
It
again.
is amazing, and there is that market.
Except that the prices aren't going up, 5% a month.
No,
Yeah.
no, but if a house is listed
Eventually,
for
though.
$550 by the comps and sells for $700, that's going to be the new mark
Ouch.
for the.
Yeah.
And it's in pockets. That all the realtors say if the house is good. And I'm involved in a deal now where the house, as an example, it's in a decent part of town, and at the height it sold for like 1.1, 1.15. And the people that bought it, for whatever reasons, lost their job, and the bank took it back, and in the process, they sort of trashed the house, and now it's for sale, and the good work that was done is still there, but the electric fixtures are gone, the water heater's gone, they really got angry and pulled out stuff, and still there's a half a dozen people that want to pay more than the list price for it, even with that.
What's it listed for?
It's listed for, I think, in low 7s, mid 7s.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go out in the mid 8s or something.
Yeah, some of the, it's funny that I've looked at a couple of bank-owned listings that are just in the paper, and I looked like, I said, wait a minute, this isn't such a great deal. I mean, the banks are getting kind of greedy themselves. They're just being like regular old sellers.
Well, the banks don't seem to act in their best interest. The house that, if I were able to work with the banks and make them better, I would say you have this asset that's the house that you own and is vacant. Hire somebody to mow the lawn or paint the property or fix it up, and you could have, just like one of the people that come to Mark to get a loan and do a fluff and flip. They could do incredible asset
Fluff and
for them.
flip.
Yeah, meaning that they don't have to do too
that
much
anything
to
like
the
a fluffer?
property. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we got a great email from Mark. Audience, you're going to be wanting to listen to this one. Okay, here again, trivia. Today's trivia theme is famous comebacks in sports, and we're going to cut to the second commercial break. And here's a trivia question, guys. If you remember this one, who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit? Mark, the eyeballs are spinning. It's like you kind of know the answer.
Yep.
Yeah, you do know the answer.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if I know for sure.
Okay, so call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit? Call 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, your email address, and speak slowly and spell out your information one letter at a time. And we'll be right back.
You said 1992.
92, so the
1992.
Houston Oilers were the AFC. is
Yeah,
that right?
so San
Yep.
Diego,
So-
was it?
Denver.
New England Patriots.
I'm not going to tell you.
New
No.
England?
It wasn't San Diego.
Miami.
Now, if I
No,
mention,
it wasn't
yeah, it
Miami.
wasn't Miami. What if I mention Frank Reich took over? Would that make
Frank
It's
Wright?
not
No.
Seattle.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Ah,
Did he
okay.
invent the airplane?
Wait a minute. To beat the
Oh, that was
Houston
horrible.
Oilers in a comeback.
Yeah, no, I'm still stumped.
Not
Or
not
Frank Orville.
Reich.
Oh,
Frank
Frank
Orville.
Reich.
Like the Third Reich.
Oh, the Third Reich. They're a great football team.
Yeah. Just don't get on their bad side.
Cincinnati.
Or they'll take over
That
Europe.
wasn't Cincinnati.
Come on, Mark. We're counting on you
92.
now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what that.
Okay. All right. So we've got your email,
Okay.
and then we'll go into a little of the fun Facebook types.
Let's power through.
And away we go. The famous Jackie Gleason said, "We still love that guy."
And
Why do you keep winding your watch?
Do you
So I
remember
like to-
the?
It's not winding, it's setting
Setting the time for
10,
the- for the-
10 minutes.
I was-
So know-
Oh, I was
I was watching
okay.
Jackie Gleason show on TV, and away we go, and he went off at the end of the show, and you heard this crash bang, and he fell off the stage and broke his leg. broke
Did he
his arm.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, he was drunk most of the time. I've heard.
Yeah.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it, but he remembered all of his lines. Okay, here we go.
Hit his mark, as they like to say.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hanf of Pacific Private Money, Robert Jiff of RPM Mortgage. When we get to the second commercial break, again, trivia theme is famous comebacks in sports. Who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit?
And we're stumped so
We were
far.
stumped. It was an
You've
AFC
na-
team.
Yes, of
so,
course.
yeah,
You've named
so-
every team but this one. Who was the one who
We-
lost 4 Super Bowls in a row?
Oh,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
No.
No, in a row. Like
Oh,
year
in a
after
row?
year
Four in a
after
row
year.
wasn't New England. It was
Okay, we don't have all day,
Denver.
guys.
No, okay.
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Remember that? Frank Reich took over for, I think it was,
I'm a West Coast fan. I
That's
keep
one,
track of those
one of
East
the
Coast
records that probably will not be broken.
well, yeah, I never said. The only record I think in sports that won't get broken is Cy Young's 511 wins.
Wow.
Because people don't pitch enough to
Yeah,
do
That's
that.
true.
All right. And for Mark, we received this email for you. If I invest in deeds of trust, how secure is my investment? That's a pretty good question.
By investing in loans secured by deeds of trust. So it's an alternative form of investing, alternative to stocks and bonds, let's say, and it's known as trust deed investing. It's also called private lending, hard money lending, but trust deed investing is one of the more popular names or terms for the act of funding a loan that is secured by a deed of trust recorded against the property that you're lending on. So the question
sort
was,
of like individuals acting as a bank.
well, that's exactly right. That's it. Thank you for pointing that,
Put that in a
because sometimes
nutshell.
that's what it really takes to kind of get that aha moment. Because there are, believe it or not, even though I'm very, very close, I'm in the industry, so sometimes I forget just how many people and such a high percentage of people out there really have not done this. I think maybe 90% of the investing public out there is probably isn't even aware of the ability to fund a loan secured by a deed of trust. In other words, to be a bank, to be an individual banker, so to speak, to work with a hard money loan broker like us at Pacific Private Money to take your money and to fund a loan like a bank loan. And when you do that, you have the same safety and security features that a bank would have. You have all the same rights and remedies as Bank of America does when they fund a loan The only difference with us is we don't tend to fund consumer home loans. We tend to work in the niche of making loans to real estate investors who are buying, fixing, and flipping, or maybe it's rental property. And the reason we tend to stay away from owner-occupied homes is because of all of the rules and regulations that provide homeowners all kinds of new rights that maybe they didn't have 5 years ago. So most of the loans we do now are what we call business purpose, and they're to real estate investors on non-owner occupied property. So if you have to foreclose, it's a smoother and easier process than, say, having to foreclose on a family's home and kick a family out. So
if I invest $100,000 with Pacific Private Money and I get a deed of trust, you're telling me I'm just like the bank?
You're just like the bank. So,
Aha.
so the safety and
That's the
security
aha
feature.
moment.
That's the aha moment, right? So to answer the question, how safe are they? So there's safety and security features. I'm not going to be one to say anything is safe, but the safety and security features of a deed of trust, I think, are incredibly compelling and I think much more secure than, say, stocks. So as an example, so what does that mean, the safety and security features? So when you fund a loan that's secured by a deed of trust through a hard money loan broker like Pacific, what you get is you first of all, you have a contract, which is the promissory note, which is the borrower signs an agreement to pay you back. Then that note is secured by a security instrument known as a deed of trust. It's recorded on the property. Most of the loans we make are first position liens, not seconds. So these are first deeds of trust. There's a lender's titled insurance policy that's issued to the lender that ensures that lien position and that they are superior to any other liens on the property other than property taxes. There's also a hazard insurance policy that the borrower has to pay for that names the lender as a loss payee in case the house burns down. And then, of course, you've got the personal guarantee of the borrower itself. So you've got the collateral of the property, you've got the strength of the borrower, and in many cases, most of the borrowers we make loans to, these are people in the business of making money in the real estate industry. So these guys, again, it's a business model. So it's a very, in my opinion, if more people knew about trust deed investing, there'd be a lot more money pouring in. As it stands, there actually is quite a bit of money out there right now.
One of the things I like, one of the things I like about it is, unlike stocks, is, you invest in the stock market, not only does the price go up and down, but you have really no idea what those financial statements mean, or, the shenanigans that go on with the CEOs and all
also
that.
probably 90 to 95% of the investing in the stock market is by huge computer-driven programs and institutions.
Yeah, and you can't compete with the big boys anymore. At least with the deeds of trust, it's actually not rocket science. It's very, very simple.
And
It's
if
not.
you're not lumped into a fund, you have
Yeah.
you have a mortgage on a specific property.
Right, it's not a fund. That's actually a really good point. We are not a mortgage fund. We are not a mortgage pool. We are originating loans between private individuals. So when you invest in one of the loans we originate, you're actually investing in a loan secured by a specific property for a specific borrower. So you get the credit report, you get all the information on the borrower, the loan application, etc. You get to see the preliminary title report and any other information, termite report, whatever inspections or appraisal there might be on the collateral. So it is not a pooled investment. It is an individual investment. And so it's just
Well, I can know from being a mortgage broker, there's a lot of people that come to me and want to get a loan to do a project, or builders, or they think that they can buy a place and rehabilitate it and sell it. And in the past, they were able to do that easily, and I could get them a mortgage. And now with all the regulations and stipulations and make it a lot harder to qualify, there are a lot of clients that I say, it's a great idea, but you're not going to be able to get a normal loan funded by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. I'll have to find a hard money source for you, a private lender, and then I can go to someone like Mark. In fact, I would only go to Mark. I know people that have done deals with him, and the level of professionalism and attention to detail is fabulous.
Well, yeah, sometimes people think that business is like black market or something. Or,
It's
you know,
not,
it's
and
not.
two quick points I want to make before we go to the next commercial break is that The type of interest rates you can earn as a lender in one of these are anywhere from 8 to 10% is the range. And additionally is, when you want a common question is, why would anybody borrow money at that rate? That sounds like, a distressed borrower. Well, it's not. It's because the banks aren't making loans to real estate investors. The only resource most real estate investors have to use leverage is to come to a hard money loan broker, borrow the money at 10% or whatever the note rate is to them, and they have to just work that cost of funds into their strategy. And they do, and they can still make a profit borrowing money at 10%.
Well, I
It
know
works.
some borrowers, they get into a deal not realizing that banks will not touch a deal if a construction project is partially done. I mean, if they just...
Or if the people who left the building ripped out the plumbing and took the copper or the wiring or trashed
And
the
it's
house, it
because
might not be
mechanics-
bank
And they
financing.
say,
yeah.
we're,
Yeah.
we're ready to lend you the money, fix it all up, and then we'll lend you the money.
Right,
Yeah,
so they
exactly.
come to
I
us
say, well,
first.
wait a minute, I need the money to fix it up. Well,
Yeah.
that's-
Well, the main reason is because people don't understand about the mechanic liens rule.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they're concerned about. A lot of people don't realize. They go, hey, I'll buy this house. It's only, it's been remodeled like halfway, and I'll just finish it up. Yeah, but the bank doesn't trust the fact that all the mechanic liens were. Okay, here is our third commercial break. Here's our third trivia question, and the theme again is famous comebacks in sports. Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world in 1951. Which team was on the losing end? And by the way, a lot of people don't know this, Willie Mays was a rookie that year. He was on deck. Kind of interesting. Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world. Which team was on the losing end? Make sure to include your name, email address, and remember to speak slowly and spell out your information one letter at a time. One letter at a time. Kind of went fast on that one. And we will be right back. Okay.
I'm not sure of that one either. Probably